When you begin to notice something within yourself, trust doesn't ask you to move forward immediately. Trust will often ask you to stay, to remain present with what's being revealed without trying to control the outcome. Hello, my friends, and welcome to Amazing by Design. I'm Lucy Ann, and this is the space where we move at a slower rhythm, where we talk honestly about our everyday lives and the faith that quietly shapes them. There's no pressure here, no pretending, just real conversation. If you're a steady listener, welcome back. And if this is your first time joining us, I'm really glad you found your way here. An extra warm welcome to you today. I like to imagine us sitting together at my kitchen table, coffee or tea in hand, as we take a pause from the noise of the week to enable us to pay attention to what's actually happening beneath the surface of our everyday lives, and then give God opportunity to come into those places. So before we go any further, let's take a moment to settle our hearts and our minds. Take a deep breath with me. Let your shoulders relax. And from this posture, we can lean into today's conversation. Often, once you begin paying attention inwardly, something unexpected happens. There's a stirring, a pause, and then, quietly, an important question forms. Can I trust what I am sensing? That question, it doesn't mean something has gone wrong. More often, it means something is becoming honest. That's the space that I want to sit in with you today. For many women, this moment can feel unsettling. Not because life is falling apart, but because something inside you is asking to be acknowledged. It's a moment of self-honesty. And this is often where uncertainty shows up. Questions surface. What am I supposed to do with this? Do I need to take action? Will God make this any clearer? And before long, without realizing it, it's so easy to rush forward. Not out of wisdom, but out of the discomfort with the unknown. Here's the truth. Trust rarely announces itself with confidence. Most of the time, trust feels like vulnerability. Because once we notice something, we want clarity immediately. We want to know what it means, where it's going, and what the next step should be. But trust doesn't grow through certainty. It grows as we stay in the discomfort, staying present with what's being revealed to us without rushing ahead. This is actually something that I learned firsthand while flying airplanes. When I was a pilot, it became very clear very quickly that I didn't have to fly the entire flight at once. Each phase required a different kind of attention. Takeoff required intense focus. Cruising altitudes required steadiness. Landing required precision. And there was no reason for me to prepare for landing while I'm still sitting on the runway waiting for my takeoff clearance. And as a flight instructor, I watched students struggle with this all the time. They wanted to think 10 steps ahead, trying to manage what was coming next before attending to what was happening now. Fear was guiding them. They held a belief that if they anticipated enough, they wouldn't be caught off guard. But that thinking, it didn't make them safer. It only added unnecessary stress. So I would always say the same thing. Stay with the moment. Not because the next phase wasn't important, but because it didn't need their attention yet. And the same is true for us. Trust isn't about rushing the process. Partnering with God in our everyday life, it works much the same way. When you begin to notice something within yourself, trust doesn't ask you to move forward immediately. Trust will often ask you to stay, to remain present with what's being revealed, without trying to control the outcome. God isn't waiting for you to interpret things perfectly. He's not asking you to hurry, and He's not withholding guidance from you. He's right there, in the noticing, in the pause, and in that moment when you feel so tempted to move too quickly. What you're sensing isn't a signal to fear. It's an invitation to remain present. I've noticed in my own life that when I don't trust what I'm sensing, I default to old habits. I do what's familiar, what's worked before, what feels productive. But when I slow down enough to really listen, I often realize that my body is registering something way before my mind has caught up. And in that moment, there's a quiet reminder. I'm safe. Nothing has gone wrong. Learning to trust that has changed everything about how I move through my days. I don't force answers. I don't rush solutions. I choose to stay steady and let my faith do its thing. If you're in a season where you're becoming more attuned to yourself, you don't need to rush into clarity. You don't need to label everything that you notice. You don't need to know how things are going to turn out. Sometimes the most honest act of trust is staying right where you are. Trust isn't measured by speed. It's measured by steadiness. And steadiness creates sustainability. So today, if you're beginning to trust what you're noticing, even just a little, that's not something to question. It's something to honor. You're not losing ground. You're not falling behind. You are learning how to stay present with yourself and with God. And most importantly, you're learning to do that without rushing past what matters. That kind of trust, my friend, is built moment by moment, experience by experience. And if you need something to anchor you steady in rest today, this is a scripture I always come back to. It's from Philippians chapter 1. Being confident of this, that He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion. Now that's a reminder that God has your back. And that is a great place for us to rest today. And if you want a space to keep having conversations like this, slow, honest, and without pressure, you'll find me here each week. There's also a link in the show notes if you feel led to connect more deeply. It's there if and when you feel that that's right for you. For now, let this message take root as God unfolds it for you. And as you go, remember, You are chosen. You are loved. You are amazing by design.